Hey YouTube, this your girl Janae of All Things Janae, and I'm back with another classic. And on today I'm going to be showing you guys how I add names to my sublimation tumblers. Okay, for the first step, I headed over to Etsy, and then I just went ahead and purchased and downloaded this tumbler wrap, a Mexican flag tumbler wrap to be exact. And as you guys can see here, it didn't take very long to download it, and as soon as it downloaded, it just went ahead and popped up on my screen. And once it did that, I just went ahead over to Canva and opened a new document. Okay, so for the necessary document, you guys will just head on over to the right-hand side, click Create Design, and then scroll down to the bottom where it says Custom Size. And then you're going to type in the specific size of 9.3 inches by 8.2 inches. Okay, so now that your document is open, you're just going to simply drag and drop the file that you downloaded into your uploads. Or if you know the name of the exact file, you can just select upload files over to your left-hand side and do it that way. Okay, so once you upload directly or choose to drag and drop, it shouldn't take but a second to upload. And once it's uploaded, you can either choose to drag it to your canvas, or you can choose to double click it and it should pop up like this. Once it's on your canvas, you're just going to stretch it out to the desired state. And then you have the option to choose where you want to put the name. For me personally, I always choose the names to go down the sides. And my customer seems to love that, but you can always do it horizontally, or you can always do it just basically wherever you want, depending on the design. In this case, this customer only wanted initials. I'm guessing that's what that is. I'm not sure, to be honest. Somebody else put in this order for them, so I honestly don't know, but I'm just doing what was told, or what was asked of me rather. So all I did was go to my left hand side and select text to insert a text box, and then I selected a font and typed out the initials LV. But come to find out, they only wanted the initials IV. I'm not sure how I got mixed up, but I was careful to go ahead and correct it before I completed the project. I didn't want to keep the initials black because to me that was just boring. So I decided to change my color to white and then to move my initials onto the red part. Okay, so now that I have the initials positioned correctly over in the red, actually, this is the part where I did a double take to make sure that it was exactly what was requested. And I just simply changed the L to an I. And once the L became an I, our work here is complete. Now all I have to do is just go to the top right corner and select Share, and then download the new PNG. Okay, so once the PNG is downloaded, you're just going to go up to your left-hand side and click File. And then you're going to scroll down and hit Print. Okay, and once the Print Settings menu comes up, you're just going to go ahead and select the size of the paper, the orientation. And last but certainly not least, of course, you always want to mirror your image when you're dealing with sublimation. And after you set all your settings, you just want to go ahead and hit Print. And then you're just going to get your printer going. Of course, I sped this portion of the video up for obvious reasons. And while you're watching this printer go, I'll just go ahead and drop this little nugget here. I no longer buy the standard 8.5 by 11 sublimation paper. Now I buy the 8.5 by 14 inches, which is the US legal size. And now that I have that printed, I'm just going to go ahead and cut the design out. Okay, so now that I have the design cut out, it's time to wrap the tumbler. Hot dog style, I think is how they used to refer to it in school. And all you guys need for this step is, of course, your tumbler blank, of course, your design, but also heat tape. I use 2 different kinds, and then shrink wrap and a shrink gun. If you don't have those 2, you can just improvise. Not everyone uses shrink wrap, but I do. As you can see here, I just take my design, make sure it's aligned across the top, and then I just gradually roll my cup into the design, covering everything and leaving, of course, no air to stay in. Okay, so once you get your tumbler tightly rolled, now it's time to seal everything by taping it down. And using my first type of tape, I'm just going to go ahead and seal everything closed by pinching my tumbler while I'm doing it. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't realize I was going off camera during this time, but I do have other videos showing this exact same step. While you're taping, be sure to use one of your fingers as a guide to make sure you're squeezing all of the air out. Okay, so now that the middle is taped successfully, I just go ahead and go around the top and the bottom, making sure I squeeze out any air bubbles in order to prevent ghosting from the top and the bottom. And for this steps, I use the second type of heat tape. Either or is fine for the entire tumbler. I just have so many of this kind that I decided to use it for this purpose. But any kind of heat tape is fine as long as you're not running into any issues with your tumblers. Okay, now that everything is secured, I'm just going to go ahead and insert my tumbler into a case of shrink wrap. And then I'm just going to use my heat gun in order to shrink the wrap. This is a very easy process. You don't want to overdo it. You just have to remember that once you put the tumbler in your convection oven, assuming that you're using one, it's going to automatically shrink the shrink wrap anyways. Okay, so once the shrink wrap was secured, I just went ahead and sectioned off my tumbler into the 4 different turns that I'm going to be making using a black Sharpie pen. And now I have my convection oven set to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. And then I'm just going to rotate my tumbler into 1 minute intervals. Every time a minute passes, I just go ahead and turn my tumbler until I can get all 4 sides. Okay, so after we baked our tumbler in the convection oven, I just always use a weeding tool, and then I just pop the top of the shrink wrap without scratching the inside, of course. And then I just go ahead and start pulling from there. Of course, you're just going to have an oven mitt or a heat glove or something of that nature to hold the tumbler while you're pulling the paper away with your opposite hand. Please be careful not to burn yourselves because, of course, it's very hot. After unwrapping everything, here's our finished product. I love it, actually. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, don't forget to hit like, comment, subscribe, share, leave any feedback that you guys may have. And don't be shy to add a suggestion or an idea for a new video that you guys would like to see. Thank you so much.